charter schools have been growing tremendously across the country, and here in Chicago especially, where most of the charter schools in Illinois are located, and every year more and more of them are being approved by the Chicago Public Schools or by the state authorities. So we went and looked at how charter schools, which have been around here now for nearly 20 years, are performing. We took only neighborhood schools and compared them against charters that put aside magnet schools, which, like charters, do not have attendance boundaries. But even when you look at just plain old neighborhood traditional schools, on the elementary school level, a smaller percentage of charter students are exceeding standards on the ISATs than their counterparts in neighborhood schools, meaning there's a higher percentage of neighborhood school students who exceed the standards for math and for reading than you have in the charter schools. There was a study done internally on the orders of a Chicago Public School CEO named Terry Mazany back in 2010, in the waning days of Mayor Daley's administration, Mayor Richard M. Daley's administration, I should add. And at that time, too, they saw that there wasn't much to separate charter schools from regular neighborhood schools.
One of the first decisions that was facing me and the school board during that interim period was to approve a significant number, about 10 or 12 charter school applications. I was just curious myself about what did the data say about the schools, and the results when they came out showed that they were virtually identical. There were not much difference, and I found that surprising because charters are based on a model that they have greater freedom, opportunity to be innovative and be more flexible, and so I would have intuitively expected that they were performing much better than the neighborhood schools that they were pitted against. I do think that there needs to be a higher bar set for what is expected of these schools. That, you know, clearly the district for neighborhood schools has looked at closing low-performing schools. I don't see that same standard applied for charter schools. The low-performing schools seem to linger. Are there advocacy around keeping them open? And yet I think that proves the underlying theory of charter schools that they will be closed if they're not performing. And I think it's in the interest of charter school advocates to do exactly that.
At any rate, they continue to grow, and some of them are performing very poorly and being allowed to continue to operate. There could be political reasons why it continues to grow. Certainly they've had the support of the past mayor, Richard M. Daley, as well as Mayor Rahm Emanuel. He had very close ties to the charter school community. One of the largest chains, the UNO chain, was run until recently by the co-chairman of Mayor Rahm Emanuel's election campaign for mayor. But why charter schools continue to grow, I think there are also some of them that are performing well. Within, for instance, the UNO chain or the CICS chain, you have a great variety. You have CICS Irving Park, which is one of the best. Then you have CICS Hawkins and Bond schools, which were among some of the worst in terms of the percentage of students who are exceeding standards, who are performing on a college track level. Another of the charter school chains that certainly had problems with their test scores and has been warned by CPS, but has continued to grow actually, is the Aspira chain. And there's new leadership there that is promising to improve performances. And like UNO, they've been given money from the state to even build a new school on the northwest side. So we'll be looking at some of those specific schools as time goes on, because again, I don't think it makes any sense if what you're trying to provide through charters is choice, and a good choice, a good alternative, if you allow schools to continue to get funding and to continue to operate and to continue to serve students who are not performing in the final analysis.